Hey everybody, what is going on? Hey, it's War Machine 800 here. Just wanted to give an update on Red Chaos, the Strict Order. They just had a major update come out here as of November 12th. So I just wanted to kind of go over that and give my thoughts on what they've changed. As far as the first part, added full French text translation. That's good. Anything to further increase the player base, anything to get more people involved in these kind of games. I support that. Full French text translation. Looks like they're still kind of working on it, but hopefully we'll see some more languages added in as we go. AI general fixes. Rare issue where the AI could build two commander units. I never noticed that personally, but if other people noticed it, I'm glad they fixed it. Improving AI behavior and overall gameplay pace. I'd be curious to see what that looks like. I'm going to have to do some testing, play against some more general bots and see if anything changes. I feel like in general it's gotten pretty good before this update. The one thing I did notice is that if you destroy an enemy AI headquarters, they never rebuild it. They never place an outpost. I'm curious if they fixed that because if the AI can actually rebuild after destroying their headquarters, that's going to make General a lot more difficult, which means that'll be more fun to work on. The cannot deploy here sound that was playing incorrectly, I did notice that. So if you try to grab a structure as soon as you're done building it and place it, I think it was like if you tried to do it too fast, it would say cannot deploy here and then you would just click again and it would go down. That was annoying. Glad to see that they've worked on that. As far as some gameplay balance changes, looking at the tech tree here, the hangar now requires a tech center. Not super excited about that. So the hangar was a step before the tech center before. You could build it after you had your command post, extension tower, your refinery. You could place the hangar. So this is going to slow down anybody who likes aircraft by a little bit, which I guess it makes sense. I'm not going to complain about it too much, but you know, love hate the tech center requirement now. Iron Core Shadow Market also require a tech center. That feels a bit redundant because you had to have the Operation Research Center beforehand anyways. Because the tech center was the prerequisite for building the Op Research Center, and you had to have the Op Research Center to start making the Iron Core Shadow Market structure. I'm not sure why they added this in. I guess the only sort of time that would come into play is if your opponent destroys your tech center and not your research center. I personally feel like if you have the research center, you should still be able to make these, but now I guess you have to have both at the same time. Again, not a massive change, but I guess one that makes sense, so I won't complain about that much either. Looking into the towers and defenses updates they've made, the Gatling gun, the Defender tower, they've rebalanced. I guess that's fine. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I guess I'd have to see what kind of rebalancing they did. It says they've lowered the HP and the build time's going to be faster. That's probably ultimately good. I noticed if I was in a pinch getting under attack and I needed some quick tower defense, it was a bit slow to drop down some defense. So maybe this will be good for people in a pinch in the moment, but that doesn't seem like a massive change either. Ray of Justice Red Eye towers are now more powerful and take longer to build and cost more. That one, I'm not sure that was necessary. Ray of Justice Red Eye are already pretty strong before this update. I'm not sure why they needed to make them more powerful, and they already took a long time to build to begin with. This change is probably going to be the first change I actually complain about. I thought Ray of Justice and Red Eye were already pretty powerful and already took pretty long time to build and were already pretty expensive. So just increasing all of that, it's stronger and it costs more and takes longer. That feels unnecessary. I hope they take that one back. So unit upgrades, Nightmare Gunship, Flying Rhino, rebalanced for better air-to-ground balance, more damage, slower speed. I'm not sold on this one either. I noticed if I had a group of the gunships and the rhinos together, they already kind of attack kind of slow to begin with. They did decent damage, and it was okay, but they were kind of slow to fire. So if they're slowing it down even more, the damage better go up a lot because that's kind of just making those units worse. I mean, maybe they figure if everybody's building gunships and rhinos every game, they want to nerf it to encourage other styles of play. If that's the aim, then sure, this is a decent change to make that happen. But other than that, this just kind of makes the units worse. I'm not sure this was a positive change either. Inferno Artillery Volcano are slightly slower and weaker for better pacing. Yeah, I think that one I'm fine with. I mean, they were already pretty powerful to begin with. Those are the ranged units that can attack further than anything else on the ground. Yeah, those were already a bit strong in their own right, so maybe slowing those down, making them weaker, is going to be a positive change for that. This might be fine. I'm not going to complain too much about that. The Beast deals more damage to air vehicles and buildings. That's definitely a positive change. The Beast is something that I rarely ever use because it was kind of low level, kind of weak compared to everything else anyways. So the fact that they've buffed the Beast is ultimately good. That'll get it some more use in the game. No complaints there. Economy and upgrades. Iron Core Shadow Market upgrades are cheaper and faster, but income is slightly reduced. That I'm also not sure I'm a fan of. So the upgrades were already not that expensive. They weren't that crazy. By the time you were building Iron Cores and Shadow Markets, you should have had a very strong, consistent economy at that point anyways. I think they cost 1,500 to build, which isn't a whole lot when you're at that stage of the game. They didn't really need to be cheaper. They didn't really need to be faster. I'm not sure why reducing the income is really a positive. It really just feels like it's doing the same thing in a different way. If the income's reduced, but they generate money faster, I mean, that could very easily just even out. That might not even be a noticeable change in the long run. I'm just not sure the change needed to happen at all. But that's fine. I guess I won't complain about that. It doesn't seem like a massive difference. The Upgrade Center and Tech Center now take longer to build. Not sure why that was necessary. I mean, the Upgrade Center, the Tech Center, I guess they were, they were not super fast. I mean, I thought the speed was fine on getting your upgrade or tech center down, but if they feel the need to make it take longer to build, I guess, they're trying to make the game a certain pace. I guess I could see that one. I won't complain too much about it. It just feels unnecessary. Boomhand now requires a refinery instead of a radar system. I mean, I guess, I never used the Boomhand that much either, but I guess making it take an extra step before you can make them is probably a good thing. It was a pretty strong unit to get, and if you got it pretty early, I guess I could see why they would slow that down a little bit. That's fine. Not going to complain too much. You should be getting a refinery pretty early in the game anyways, so that shouldn't really be a big deal. So those are the patch notes that came out for November 12th on Red Chaos. Hopefully everybody's still logging in and enjoying the game, and I'm hoping that these updates are going to actually improve the overall gameplay experience. So keep on playing Red Chaos, enjoy the game, and I'll see you online.